Hello everybody, AJ Ryzik here, and today we've got the next video in our WordPress tutorial series. Today we're going to start creating some original content, or actually I already created the content. This is the second time that I recorded this video because some guy, when he recorded the original, forgot to set this mic right here, and when he got done with the video and went to edit, found there was no audio, so we're doing it over. uh, Little mishap there. Anyway, uh, so the content that I was going to show you how to create today, it's already created, but I'm gonna first kind of show it to you, and then we'll go back and I'll show you how to create what I created. So let's kind of get started on that. In previous videos, I've talked about how you have posts and pages and the difference between the two. The Divi theme, which I am using, adds another category or another type of content, and that is called projects. And that's what we're looking at here. And the way you could think of projects is they are standalone pages, but they are categorized. And the reason that they created this type of content is uh, Divi has a portfolio module, and within that portfolio module, so you can, let's say, in my case, I'm a writer, and I want to showcase the various writing that I've done. So I go and I create a portfolio so I can show off novels I've written, magazine articles, that sort of thing. Okay, this projects allows you to go and showcase that stuff from within that module, while at the same time it can be categorized. So maybe, I've got a row that shows my novels, and the next row down is some of the magazine articles that I've written, and so on and so forth. Let's say that you're a builder and you want to showcase the work that you've done, and maybe you do a section that is new homes that you've built, and then maybe another section is remodel jobs. Maybe one section is bathrooms, one is kitchens, whatever. So it allows you to categorize these standalone pages. Now, you could, before the Divi theme came around, you could do things like that, make a showcase of your various work and whatnot. But it was a little more, there was a little more work involved so that you could categorize it and display it and all that, because, you had to use standalone pages to do that. So, uh, it kind of just, it makes something that you could do previously, it makes it easier to do. And so I'm going to kind of walk you through what I've done so far, and then we'll go back and take a look at how to do it. So I have not done this yet, but I'm going to create an author page for on this website, and probably the next video will be how to do the author page. And then, like we just talked about, I'm going to have a portfolio section on there. Okay, so and part of the portfolio is going to be the novels that I've written. So you'll have a link there to all the novels, and here's one of them so you can see what we've done before. This is for the novel Escape to Freedom. It's kind of a dystopian future type of novel. If you've read, like, say, 1984, Atlas Shrugged, some of those kind of novels, it's along the same lines. So the way, you'll click on Escape to Freedom, this page will pop up. You've got this slider, which just it's got a description of the book. The book cover slides in from the side. If you scroll down, you've got a buy on Amazon link, and if you click that, and I'll open it in a new tab just so you can see what it goes right to the Amazon page, where you can get either the Kindle or a paperback version. If you continue scrolling down the page, you've got these little testimonials right here, and they are simply, I just copied and pasted from Amazon reviews. And then continue on down the page further. If you've got a read sample chapter, click below to read chapter 2 of Escape to Freedom. So you hover over that and click read now, and it will take you to another page, which is that chapter of the novel, and you can read that chapter. So let's go and I'll show you how I created that. Now we'll just add a new project, and I'll go back and erase this after we get done creating, but this way you can see how to do it. Okay, so we'll do, let's just say Escape version 2. Alright, and we will use the page builder. And you know what, just so that I've got something to copy from, I'm going to go and I'll open up the original Escape to Freedom just so that I've got something to model from. Okay, so we've got our first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a full width section. There's two types of sections you can have. You can either have a standard section, full width section. We want a full width section, so click on Add Full Width Section, and I want to move that up to the top. We're going to insert a module. Now there's only a couple modules that work with the full width section. You got a full width header, full width menu, full width slider, portfolio, and full width map. We're going to do this full width slider. We're going to add a new slide. And like I said, I'm just going to copy and paste from here since I've already done this once. And so our heading is Escape to Freedom. The button text, so that is what I've got as a buy on Amazon, and that's what I'm going to type in here, buy on Amazon. You can put whatever you want in that box for your text. Button URL, so when you click on that button and you want it to take you somewhere, you need to put in a URL in that spot. So for me, that is the Amazon product page. And then background image. I created this kind of swirling red background, and then for my sci-fi series, Chronicles of Aria Prime, I've got this swirling purple background over here. But I created that in GIMP, so I'm going to select that, click Select as Background. Now you could do just a background color, which they list right. You can just come in here, select color. Now the slide image, let me scroll down here and show you, that is just what's going to come in from the side. And if you know the URL address for that slide, you can copy and paste it in there, just like that. You could upload an image, and actually when you click upload an image, it'll take you to your media library here, so you can pick one of these or upload something new. So we're just going to select Escape to Freedom, set that as your slide, and it gives you a preview there. Now you've got a slide image vertical alignment. Do you want it to be centered, which is what I've got set, or you can have it so that the image will come across the bottom. I want it centered. Slide video. Define this video will appear to the left of your slide text. So basically, instead of having the image, you could have a video. And then also, if you want an alternate text for that video, you can put that in there. Text color. Do you want light or light or dark text within that slider box? Pick whichever you want. Obviously, if you got a dark background, you want light. If you got a light background, you want dark. Instead of a background color or background image, you could do a background video. In that case, you would upload either MP4 or WebM format and add it in there. And then if you're going to do the video, you need to specify a video width and height. Do you want the video running or do you want it paused? And then here where it says content is just what's the text for that slider. And like I said, I'm just going to copy and paste from what I had done before. Click save. So we've saved that slide. Now I'm only using one slide. You can have multiple slides, and a lot of people will do that. Like say maybe this is we're instead of a project, we were making the home page for our company website, and we want to have a different slide for I don't know, a different project that we've done, or kind of going back to the construction analogy, maybe you have a slide of a new home that you build, then a slide of a bathroom remodel, and so on and so forth. So you could do that. If you have multiple slides, then you want to select whether do you want to show an arrow to kind of cycle through all the slides, or do you just want it to go automatic and hide the little arrows? Do you want to show the slider controls or hide them? Automatic animations, yes or no? Parallax effect. It's kind of hard to show it on because I kind of got that swirling background. Let me do this. Let me go and I'll add another slide that just has a regular, and we'll just put any old thing in there, no button or anything like that. And then for background image, let me just pick one of these just so that it'll give you an idea what parallax is. Okay, so anyway, do you want automatic animations or do you not want it? Parallax effect, and I'll show you the parallax effect in a minute. Basically, do you want that background image to be static or do you want it to move with the slide? Okay, admin label, that's basically just what you're going to see on this end, so that you can quickly, if you're looking at your layout, you can quickly say, oh yeah, that is, such and such slider or whatever. It'll give you a default, full width slider or whatever, but you can go in here and change that. So maybe you'd label it slider 1 or however you want to do it. CSS ID, you can go and add specific CSS code for a specific CSS ID. So maybe you want, there's some setting here that by default the Divi module doesn't allow you to do. Well, you can go, if it's something that is CSS related, you can come in here, add a CSS ID so it only affects this particular module. At the same time, you can add a CSS class so that say everything with that particular CSS class, this setting will have an effect on. And I actually did that, and on the previous portfolio modules that I did, and I'll give you a chance to see that. All right, so let's take a look at what we got. Let's click preview, and okay, here's the one that we just created, and there's, like you said, the arrows show up. And let's go to the other one. Now here's what I was talking about. See how basically the text moves but the background image does not. That is the parallax effect. If you come in here and come down to don't use parallax, click save, and let you preview that. Now the background image does move with the slide. So yeah, depending on what you want, set it up as you like. Since I'm using those basically just background colors, you really can't see the effect going on anyway, so it really doesn't matter for what we're doing here. But I just want to kind of point it out so you can see what the feature is. Okay, so we've got our full width slider. And so the next thing that we're going to put in is the reviews. So that is going to go into a regular section as opposed to a full width section. I'm going to pull that over a little bit to get out of the way. So let's go and insert a column, and you have a choice. Do you want the full width of that section, halves, thirds, quarters, 2/3? You can see there's a variety of different ways you can set this up. We're going to do 1/3, and in each one we'll have one of our testimonial modules. So let's come here, and now that we're in, let me kind of back up a little bit. Like I talked before, this is a full width section, covers the entire width, at least the majority of. And let me go and preview again. You can see it covers the majority of the width here. Standard width section is not quite as wide, and then of course, like we just did here, we can split that up into however many columns that we want. So we've got 3 columns. Let's go and we will insert a testimonial, and again, I'm just going to copy and paste from back here. We'll call it an Amazon review. Let me just come down here and I'll copy this text. Okay, so author name, we're just going to call this Amazon review. But like say this was a testimonial from a client of yours, kind of going back to the construction example. You built this person's house and this is the wondrous praise that they've got for you, so you'd put their name in here. If it's coming from another company, maybe you give them a job title, what company it's from, and if that company has a website, you could go and put that in here so that somebody could click that testimonial and go right to that person. And if you're going to do something like that, you can set it up so that the URL, when you click on that, it'll open either in the same window or in a new tab, whichever you want to do. You can go and add that person's an image of that particular person, and you would put that in right here. Do you want the quote icon visible? I want it visible, but you can turn it off. Do you want to use a background color? Select yes or no. Select your color here, and if you know the hex code for that particular color, you could put in there, or you could use the sliders or these predefined colors to get your color. Text color, do you want it dark or light? Text orientation, left, center, right. And then down here you put in your text. We're going to click save. Alright, so let's take a look at what we've got here. So we got that. Okay, coming down here. Alright, we've got our testimonial, but you can see that the color doesn't match, and here's kind of the place where the CSS class and IDs come into play. Alright, this particular module does not give you the option of selecting a background image. You can select a background color, but not in that background image. But I can force it to do that. If you come here to Divi options, and over here on your menu, just the Divi theme options, it'll show you down at the bottom you get this custom CSS. So CSS basically is going to be the coding for your appearance, colors, font size, left column, right column, all that kind of stuff. So in here I have added a little custom CSS that will force anything with a particular CSS class to use this background URL as a background image. So the CSS class that I have created is called ETF_testimonial. So if we just come back here to this module, go down to the bottom, and under CSS Class, select it. We're just going to paste in the ETF_testimonial, save that. Now let's preview what we got. That module is now using that custom CSS that I selected. Now the one thing I will notice, we're using dark font. Let's go and make that light, so we can just come back here, do a little editing here, scroll down to text color, go light, save it, and let's preview what we got. Beautiful. Now, since we're doing 3 testimonials, probably the easiest way to do things, since you basically want these 3 identical except for changing the text that's in the box, what you can do is just click this double box right here, and it creates a copy of itself. And so then you could just go and move those to where you want them, paste them in place, and then you would just open them up, scroll down, and put in whatever text that you want in the box. So that's one of the cool things about this whole modular thing, is being able to copy and paste, and you know, it saves you so much time on when you're setting things up like that. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got. All right, so we got our 3 there. Obviously they're all the same review, but you know, for training purposes it's good enough. All right, so we got that section done. What do we got after that? We've got a call to action section. And what do we got put in there? This is for our read a sample chapter. So let's go, and now we're not doing the 3-column job anymore, so we need to add a new row, which is a single column, and we're going to insert the call to action module. Type in a read a sample chapter. Button URL. This is going to be the, when you go and click on the button, where does it take you to? So let's go back here and we'll just copy that. Paste that in there, and we just called the button text read now with an exclamation mark. And then the same stuff as we saw in the previous module. Use a background color, what color, light or dark on all that. And then the whole CSS ID and class thing again. Let me click save, and we'll preview. So we got our box, but once again we're going to need to add a custom CSS class so that we can use that background. So I'm going to come in here, and I use the CSS class. Let me go back here because it was a different CSS that I select. Testimonial dot, yeah, nope, that wasn't it. That's what I called it. ETF underscore call is what I called this CSS class. So we're going to copy that. Come down here and paste that in place. Save it. And you can see what we got now. And when you go and hover over the 3 now, it will take you to the Escape to Freedom chapter. Alright, what we got next on this page? Alright, next thing down is we've got our social media following. And so we've got a text module that says share this page on social media. Click the icon to share the page. Click follow to follow AJ Reisig. Let's just go and copy that. Let's come back here. So let's add a text module. We're going to go with dark color. We can now I want to center the text. And let's paste this in here. Save it. Take a look at what we got. Alright, share this page on social media. Click the following icon. Okay. And then finally, we've got our social media sharing. So we're going to come down to social media follow. So you would add in here a social media network and just pick whatever it is that you're going to use, Facebook, Twitter, and you can add multiples. So you'd put in Facebook, and I'll just put in some random text there for the account URL. Icon color, it automatically picks the default color for that particular network. So Facebook, the dark blue, and if you go to say Google Plus, it's the orange they use, and they got the light blue for Twitter, and so on and so forth. So you can go leave it as the default, or you can pick a custom color. Personally, I think you should stick with the default. So you'd click save, and you can either go with the round rectangle or a circle for the icon, whichever you want to do. Do you want light or dark text? We'll stick with dark. When you click on the URL, does it stay in the same window or does it go to a new tab? Follow button. Do you want a follow button or just the icon? Admin labels, social media follow, and then once again you got the CSS classes if you like. So let's click save. Alright, let's click preview, see what we got. Okay, we're good there. Got that. And now you can see we've added the social media buttons here. I only put one in just for demo purposes, just because I didn't want to copy all those URLs over again. Let me go back to this one just so you can see what I've got. Come down to the bottom and you can see I've got all the social medias that I'm on. If you just click on the icon, you can share the page. If you click on the follow button, you can follow me on that particular social media. And that's it. Very simple, easy to use. Like I said, just a little time consuming going and adding that in there. Now you may be saying, oh man, I don't want to go through adding all of that on every page that I want to create. There's kind of a workaround on that. Now let me close that up. Now you can't go and say open up, say start building a new page and take this and paste it over to the new page. There is a workaround though. You can go and okay, so I created this page. You can go and click save layout. Okay, so and I've actually done that with this basic page. Let me come over to projects. We'll open it and we'll add a new, click on add a new project and use the page builder and come over to load layout. And here is the layout that I created, the one, and I labeled it novel layout, and it'll give you, let's just load that up, give you the exact layout of that page. And not only is it the exact layout, all of those boxes are filled in as they were when I saved the project, and I saved it as the completed project. So let's go and click on preview. You see, like I said, I saved it as a completed preview. So what you could do, let's say you're going to have this at the bottom of every page. You can maybe go and save a page with, like I said, just this social media section filled out on the bottom, and then label it default post, default page, however you wanted to do that. And you can do that with any combination of the modules and whatnot. So very nice way to like I said, it's kind of a workaround for copying and pasting the modules. And what I would really like to see is something where you could have, say 2 pages open side by side and copy and paste to a new page. But this is a workaround that will essentially let you do that. Well, that about finishes up this video. Like I said, in the next one I will probably do the author page so that you'll be able to see how to do the portfolio modules, a couple other things. Hopefully the video's been useful for you. Give us a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed the page. Please subscribe if you are not a subscriber, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks a lot.